Welcome into SLA. We're back, episode 12. A lot to get through, mainly for football. You know, as opposed to our previous shows, the last two and a half years, it's all been announcements around the league. Now we get to talk about football in a game that actually was just played, broadcast live around the world on FanPass. And I think, certainly I had it wrong. I did say Chicago was going to win, if I recall. But
I did say Chicago.
But I also said Stephanie Raymond would struggle because she's untested. And I also said that I'm not sure Labyrinthia Murdoch is really a corner. And she had a career-like game. So
they had something to say to you after the game.
I officially don't know everything about this league. But we'll talk about we'll certainly talk about the game. We have Stephanie Raymond, the quarterback, on to talk about them going to 1-0 now in an impressive fashion versus, namely, the Atlanta Empire, but obviously playing for the Kansas City Force. It was an interesting first trip. You know, I mean, we typically get in a little bit early. We enjoy it. You know, we get to go out and have dinner. We didn't get a chance to do any of that. In fact, I had to break away at the old Holiday Inn and go down and grab the most makeshift sandwich you've ever seen.
It looked like a frozen egg sandwich.
Did I send you that? That's exactly
it looked terrible.
Dude, and I put it in the microwave. It came out like a Frisbee. I had to put some ketchup. It was terrible. Not Kansas City barbecue at all. But you, on the other hand, you guys got to chill out the day after the game.
Oh, yeah.
A little poolside?
We did a little pool spa day. A little SLA, or I guess a little XLeague team spa day meeting.
You and Hayden there, shirtless, dude. I'd never want to see that again.
Me, Hayden, Ninja. It was good.
My God. So,
as you can tell, I'm a little more bronze today.
Did you get a little color? Did you
get
a little Kansas City heat? Is that the humidity or the sunshine?
It was something.
Kansas City. But I tell you what, great electric atmosphere. The fans that were there, I think, loved the experience. We'll talk again about the game in a second. You know, one of the things we've been getting hammered on that people want to know, and we thought, you know, you brought it up that we should go ahead and mention it to fans, is that if you did purchase FanPass, which I'm hearing a lot of people are, keep in mind you do get 2 free tickets to your game of choice. The way you redeem those tickets is simply by emailing contact right down here at extfl.com. Now, you got to provide us your proof of purchase. You can't just say I bought FanPass. You got to give us proof of purchase. Then you got to tell us which game you want to go to and what name you want under your tickets. And then we'll take care of it from there on. So exciting to see how fans are reacting to FanPass. Week 1, we certainly had a couple gremlins within the broadcast that we're working on. But overall, you know, I thought the game itself obviously was an instant classic, but even the broadcast was great. It was awesome to see, first off, a live broadcast, and then, you know, we were able to work in a lot of the elements, but there's a lot that we have to get to, and that's going to grow as the season goes on. But overall, I thought the first FanPass experience was very good. We'll look to build on that. But again, if you need your 2 tickets, you want to redeem them, just let us know. Let's get to talking about the game a bit, Chicago versus Kansas City. You know, the surprises for myself, and I know we're going to get into it a bit with Stephanie Raymond, the quarterback, but I think that's a great point, starting point for us, is the quarterback play of Stephanie Raymond. You know, did it surprise me that she had a great game? Not really. I mean, let's not forget, she was a highly drafted athlete in the WNBA. So she's athletic.
She's a stud.
She's got wheels,
yep.
You know, so she was going to get you some yardage just with her legs, which she did. But I think what impressed me the most, and I want to talk to her about this, is her grit and toughness, because she took some serious hits. This was a very physical game.
That is exactly what I was going to say, especially me being on the field, seeing it firsthand. She got tossed around,
yeah,
but she got right up, dusted it off. Didn't really faze her. I think mentally she was there. You know, It wasn't like get smacked up once and then, you know, kind of shook up a little bit. She just kept the ball rolling.
She was very impressive from that standpoint. She's going to be one of those typical gritty Chicago-like quarterbacks, like a Jim McMahon of the Bears, that type of mold. So I think they might have found potentially a franchise quarterback in Chicago. It's a little early to say that, but certainly a great performance out of the gate. Another athlete that I was a little wrong on because she was coming off an ACL injury, and that's Javale Thompson, their running back.
Whoa.
I didn't think Javale had the speed to compete in the XLeague, because obviously the athleticism is off the charts in terms of speed. So I didn't think she could get to the outside and get in the run lanes as fast as she did on Saturday or Friday night. She was just a beast out there,
and
obviously fully recovered.
Well, and especially to her knowledge of reading the pockets. Like when I go back and look at footage, I'm like, whoa, dude, kind of breaking a couple ankles out there, but right off the back, very impressed.
Oh, that one cutback she had, I think, was in the second quarter. You can see it here. She just cuts back in just a clear lane, gets to the end zone. So I think Javale Thompson had one heck of a game. And then, beyond them, on the defensive side of the ball, another young lady I was wrong about because I thought she was just being used out of position. Mm-hmm. She's very tall, lanky. I didn't think she could open her hips and run with the fastest receivers. Labrinthia Murdoch, the corner, she shut down any, mistrust of her performance by me, certainly, and by many others, because not only did she keep up with the receivers, she had a pick in this game of Dakota Hughes. You can see it here. And, she's just I think she's going to be a Sherman type DB.
We are giving some serious compliments today.
A Richard Sherman type DB. No, she has
I like
it. She has it. And we knew we were going to be wrong. Yes, we have to get into these games. We have to figure out, because you can't just visit a training camp for a couple of hours and have an entire roster figured out. And give credit to Sid Lewis. He told me, he said, no, listen, Javale is ready, and I think Labrinthia is going to surprise you at corner. Both of which happened. So,
and for the viewers at home, remember, all we see is training camp and tryout footage.
That's all we see.
So don't hold us to it, okay,
don't
guys?
Kill us. Don't kill us. And honestly, for Atlanta, a.k.a. Kansas City, for them, I didn't think they were going to show a lot. They didn't show a lot, according to people like Dane Robinson, that they said they only opened about 20 to 30% of their playbook in this game. But, I think what they could hang their hat on is that they went toe-to-toe with a team that should be a playoff caliber team in Chicago. And you didn't even use your entire playbook. You didn't have your stud quarterback in Bailey Hodgins, who's the 18-year-old that's going to line up for them here when they kick off. But I don't know that she could have played any better than Dakota Hughes. Dakota Hughes has all the experience in the world.
Exactly.
She didn't let down. Outside of that one pick to Labrinthia Murdoch, I thought she managed the game incredibly well. And if it wasn't for the drop, prior to end of regulation by, I think, Lindsay Zell here, they had an opportunity to win that game in the final seconds.
Yep.
And Kayla Weller, I think their center, also dropped one or deflected a pass that was intended for Lauren Ziegler toward the end of regulation. So Dakota Hughes definitely put him in position to upset Chicago there, without a doubt. But, again, I think, we put a game summary article out for fans who haven't been to the website yet. Go to xleague.live. Click on the X-Wire button. You're going to get all your information there. We have game summary articles, game preview articles, and we put out the game summary. And the big headline that came out of that is that, when you watch a game like this, it's a shame that anybody has to be looked at as the loser. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think either team was a loser in this game. They stood toe-to-toe.
Not at all, yeah.
They knew what was on the line. This was more than just a game. This was the first ever game. We're going to have hopefully 5, 10, 20 years of this sport, but we're always going to look back to that first game in Kansas City. And who are the names that came out of that?
Very memorable game too.
Yeah.
This is insane.
We might all say we didn't know what the heck we were doing, but at least the game was really good.
I will say I have to give her a shout out for Kansas City, or I guess Atlanta, but Jolie Efezekai.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was, in the loss, I think there were several performances on the Atlanta/KC side that kind of went under the radar. Jessica Salazar was an absolute beast. She really took over that game with her physical style run, but she also played well on the defensive side of the ball. Let's not forget, she picked one that she nearly took to the house. Salazar was all over the field. But I think Jolia Fezekai, in my former league, she was a part of that as well. I never have seen her with the level of comfort and confidence that she played in this game. I think she's finally broken through, and I think we're going to see a lot because she's always had the size, the mismatch nightmare. Mm-hmm. Her hands have been inconsistent in the past, and she hasn't turned on the dial the way she did on Friday night. That could, between her and Lauren Ziegler, that's a pair of great weapons for that Atlanta offense.
That's a duo
forward.
For sure.
Yeah. So look, we're gonna talk about the game here in a second with Stephanie Raymond. We also have Anna Garza of the Austin Sound. So Anna is going to talk to us about this weekend's matchup as Austin takes on Los Angeles. A lot of folks in the preseason looked at this game as the number 1, number 2 matchup. I don't know. I don't know that LA could be looked at as potentially the number 2 ranked team in the league. I just don't see the horses. I don't see the weapons. Now fast forward to next week's show, and they put up 50 points, and I come in here groveling.
People are going to be just targeting us after.
Yeah, just go the other way, folks. Whatever I say in the show, go completely the opposite way. So we're going to talk to Anna Garza as well. So a lot to get to. But we'll open it up in revisiting the Kansas City-Chicago game with quarterback Stephanie Raymond when we come back to SLA right after this. Welcome back to SLA. Your host, Mitch Mortaza and Alex Saxon. And I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. We got talking about Kansas City and my bad sandwich in the hotel room. It's also Mr. Alex Saxon's birthday. You didn't think I forgot, did you?
I totally thought you forgot. I was like, he's never going to say it.
Hold on. I got a birthday cake pop. Go ahead, open it up. Open it up. Open it up.
This is everything I've ever wanted.
Don't say I never treated you. That is a birthday.
And it's pink.
I
love it, dude.
And you've got a little fuel for those late night edits.
My guy. Dude. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
It is Alex Sax's birthday, so if you see him at the game in Austin, say happy birthday. How old are you now? Oh, young. Don't even.
29.
Oh, yeah. Real old.
But
29.
It's just getting close to the dirty 30, and that kind of hit me the other night. I was like, oh, dude, this is getting bad.
Well, he is 30, so I know a lot of our athletes, coaches, everybody follows Alex. Tell him happy birthday, and we're moving on. All right, now let's talk about football again. We alluded to the quarterback of the Chicago Blitz, Stephanie Raymond, who had an outstanding debut in the XLeague. And she's our guest now. Welcome in to SLA, Stephanie.
Hey, Mitch. Thanks for having me. Alex, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it is Alex's birthday. You kind of had a coming out party, if you will, Friday night. Not a lot of people knew who you were coming in. Certainly, you've had a very impressive athletic background, a hometown hero in Rockford, where we're going to be playing later this summer as the Chicago Blitz open up. And you were drafted into the WNBA, so you're no slouch. But, certain people, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to put names out there, doubted that you would have success right out of the gate. Talk to us about how the game came to you. Was the speed what you expected? And certainly, did you expect to be successful the way you were?
Well, preparation before the game started, a lot of the vets on the team really helped out the rookies, especially me. We can have as many fast-paced practices as possible, but nothing compares to the speed of the actual game. You got Tamika and Javelle saying as much as they could to just try to encourage me to just come out and play how I know I can play. Just be the leader that the team expects me to be. And prior to, it was probably the biggest talk that I had with Fal, the other rookie on the team. We were both extremely nervous before the game started, and we were inside the locker room in that little cubby hole, just me and her, and we had probably one of the best heart-to-heart conversations that two rookies could have coming from the exact same place. Really helped me out a lot.
Very cool. Very cool. No, you definitely have some senior leadership on that roster, and I'm glad to hear they're stepping up into that role. You alluded to a couple names specifically that had breakout games. Again, Javelle Thompson coming off the ACL injury. I did not think she would be able to bounce back that quickly. She had a gangbusters type game. Tamika Robinson was key at certain points, really contributing to this win. That's on the offensive side. Let's talk about the offensive side first. You know, how much of your offense is structured to run through Javelle Thompson and Tamika Robinson?
I mean, those are our vets on the team. You know, they know the style to play. The offense, it touches everybody. So it's my job as a quarterback to give the ball to the correct reads. But, I mean, how can you stop Javelle Thompson on a handoff going in for a touchdown on the first play? I mean, that got rid of all my nerves that I ever had coming into the game. And it didn't stop there.
And then the defensive side of the ball didn't slouch in this game either. I mean, look, both teams put up a lot of yards. I think Chicago put up 350 plus, which was insanity. Atlanta, I think, put up about 202 in this game. So certainly the Chicago offense, all the talk revolved around the defense potentially being the best in the league. And I thought it was the offense that really shined in this case. But let's talk about the defense. I mean, you know, Kristen Campa, middle linebacker, you know, we hyped her going into this game, and she delivered. You know, her performance was incredible. A young lady we talked about in the first segment that surprised me as well was Labrinthia Murdoch. You know, is Labrinthia someone that has shined all off season, and were you surprised at all as to her level of performance Friday night?
I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, she plays competitively in flag, you know, 5-on-5 flag, which is just as up-tempo as our game. And she shines. She plays for a team called She Unit, and she shines offensively and defensively on that team. And then she comes in practice, and she doesn't let down. You know, she really gives our receivers time for the money. Like, she's one of the best corners in the league, I would say.
And what about Kristen Campa? She got married. I thought that would settle her down. She would lose that edge, but she didn't miss a beat. She's the same beast that I saw in my former league. You know, is she really kind of the leader, the impromptu leader of that locker room?
Kristen she's a little quiet, but when we actually need a captain to step up, she's definitely one of the captains that likes to use her voice softly, but she gets her point across where it hits home to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's one of those leaders that they don't say much, so when they do, everybody listens type of deal. And I could see that being definitely the case with Kristen. So listen, congrats. You went to 1-0, a huge win on the road. Now you return home, it looks like, August 6th, which is possibly the matchup of the year, because I really don't think Los Angeles is going to be as good as everybody thinks they're going to be. So when Seattle matches up with a 1-0 Chicago, all eyes are going to be on that game. So how long before you stop celebrating this game and start looking at that August 6th matchup in your hometown in Rockford?
To be honest with you, I think the whole team stopped celebrating Saturday morning right after the game. You know, our eyes are always focused on the next target. You know, Seattle coming in, that's what we're focused on. And we took a couple days off for practice, so we can't wait to get back as a team and hit that field and prepare for the next game.
You think you're gonna have extra nerves playing at home? I mean, it'd be one thing if you played in Chicago, but you're in Rockford, where you grew up, where you made a name for yourself athletically. You're a hometown hero over there. So what do you think? You're going to have the same kind of nerves you did Friday night, or do you think you'll be a little more settled in and more excited than anything?
The nerves are still going to be there, just like any game. Even when I played in the WNBA, I always had nerves before the game. But what's going to help is if we pack the place and get a bunch of support from Chicago, my family, in the city of Rockford. You know, just having them come out and just see what women's football is all about.
Well, very cool. Listen, you certainly shut me up in terms of being a critic, so I'm going to see how you do against Seattle. You know, you faced off of a guy, I would think, against a pretty good defense. You know, Jessica Salazar was a beast in Atlanta, and it's not like you guys lined up versus, you know, a true expansion team, which would have been the Kansas City Force. You lined up against the Atlanta Empire. So, you know, as we said going into that game, that was a bit of a measuring stick for both teams to see where they are. And I think the two of them, Atlanta and Chicago, are pretty neck and neck. That one obviously went to overtime for a reason. But listen, Stephanie, great start for you out of the gate for the team as a whole. Great to see that, because somebody like Sid Lewis, as much as he puts into this franchise, all the girls, there have been one of the most committed franchises the last 2 years through these COVID shutdowns. They didn't ever lose sight that one day we're going to get a chance to play. Let's be ready for that moment, and they were ready for it on Friday night. So, Stephanie, thank you for being, I think it's your first appearance on SLA. We hope to have you back, and congrats on the big win.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
That is your starting quarterback for the 1-0 Chicago Blitz, who now sit at the top of the standings at the XLeague. And like I said, their matchup August 6th versus Seattle, I think, is going to dictate a lot in terms of the playoff seeding. So that was last week's game. We got to move on, like Bill Belichick says. We got to talk about Austin versus Los Angeles. That is this weekend, Saturday night at HEB Center in Cedar Park. And when we come back, one of the, I would say, fan favorites, somebody that's been involved in my former league. Now she's come over to play in the X League, Anna Garza. We'll talk to Anna. We'll see where Austin is as a team coming into Saturday night, and we'll do that right after this. See you in a sec. All right, guys, welcome back to SLA. Stephanie Raymond, again, an outstanding performance. Good to hear that she did have the nerves and they settled him down, and some of that leadership on the Chicago Blitz is coming to the forefront. And look, if the number one team in the league is going to have the success everybody thinks they're going to have in the Austin Sound, our next guest is going to need to be one of those leaders. You like that transition? That's what we call a transition in the media business.
I see what you did there.
Let's welcome in Miss Anna Garza, free safety, strong safety of your Austin Sound. Welcome to SLA, Anna.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, are you in Mexico or are you stateside right now?
I'm in Mexico right now. I'm working.
Okay. What part of Mexico are you based out of?
Monterrey.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I got a chance to go to Monterrey and actually played my old league, had an all-star game there. Beautiful city. Beautiful city. So, Anna, let's get right to it. Look, all the teams have been waiting for this moment to finally play. How has the preparation been in Austin? I know that's one of the most structured franchises we have. Coach Oliveira runs a very tight ship there with his coaching staff. How much have you guys prepared for this moment coming up Saturday night?
We've been working so hard. I think the girls are waiting for this moment for more than 2 years. We have girls that are making the tryouts every year. So now we are really excited. We are ready. Coach Mike has been doing everything great. And every season, when we used to play, we learn. So we are ready to kick off.
So, Anna, I have a question for you because I know you're in Mexico. So are you traveling to all of the practices? Are you practicing over Zoom? Are you doing your own drills? How have you kind of been preparing?
Practicing over Zoom, that I gotta see.
I've never heard
that
of anyone doing
see.
it. But are you traveling a whole bunch, or are you just kind of doing your own drills at home?
Yeah, I'm traveling every weekend, so it's been a really hard. But also, it's just a passion I have for football. It's a love that I had. I really want to continue playing, so this is what I need to do. So I'm travel every weekend. Some of the girls are traveling too. So, but that's not an excuse. I think we have everything. We practice on Fridays, Saturdays, 3 times, and Sundays also. So we take advantage of all the weekend.
That is dedication for sure.
Yeah. So look, there's a lot of athletes now crossing over from Mexico to play, and a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice, time away from their family. Obviously, the monetary spend of traveling into the States every weekend to practice or every week to practice. And Anna really was at the forefront of most of that. She was one of the first athletes, I believe, on the women's side that crossed over and played in the U.S. And that's really opened the floodgates of now girls wanting to play in the X League. I know they represent very strong between Austin and L.A., and they're sprinkled throughout the league, I believe. So Anna certainly was one of the first pioneers to do that. Anna, let's talk about the game a little bit on Saturday night. Now, you guys are going to face off against an untested quarterback, certainly, in Marissa Lopez of the LA Black Storm. How much have you guys had a chance to study film on her? What do you know about Marissa Lopez?
Oh, we know definitely that it's a new QB, so I think that is going to be our strong side. Like we have, she don't have that experience already. I know she knows how to throw the ball and she can read, but also I think experience on the field is really important. So we're going to take advantage on that side. We are continue to follow everything that they post on Instagram. So we know how she plays. We know a little bit how she moves, but I think maybe she can surprise us, but we are ready. We are ready for everything, and that's all.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even think about that. Since this is a brand new league and we don't have game film, the only film you have, it's Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
It helps us a lot.
And now we know the Austin team is creeping on everyone's pages.
Yeah, right. No, they all are. Make no mistake about it. They're all doing that. So let's talk about something else about this game. Look, you guys have been the predominant number one ranked team all offseason, literally for the last 2.5 years. How do you keep from that confidence coming over into this game and you're overlooking what should be a decent or maybe a good Los Angeles Black Storm team? How do you keep from being overconfident?
I think we have a really good team. We have a lot of position that if you're going to be surprised what we have. We have Cassandra Bills. She have a really good speed. We have a Palmer on our defense. I think she's a machine. She's just a beast on defense. And also Minnie have a lot of experience on football. So I think we have everything on both sides and we are confident of what we have.
I guess so. But how do you keep that confidence from, potentially hurting you in overlooking Los Angeles? How seriously are you taking Los Angeles Saturday night?
We know that they are a tough team. We know how they play. We know also they have new girls like all the teams, but I think it's going to be a hard fight. So we are ready. We are ready for everything. And we think like they can surprise us all the time. So we are not that confident like, oh, we're going to win this game. But also we want to take, I don't know how to explain it. We want to have that to not be surprised for any play that they have. So we are not that confident. So like we're going to win, but we want to take care of everything they do.
All right. Well, let's quickly go back to something else because obviously we have a lot of fans from Mexico. Say something to them in Spanish, perhaps, about the season and what you're most excited about and what should fans be looking for with the XLeague.
Well, primero que nada, muchas gracias a todos en México por seguirnos. Estén al tanto de los juegos en vivo. Pueden seguir, hay un link que pueden seguir todos los juegos en vivo. Entonces, véanos este sábado. Estoy muy contenta por ser parte de esta liga. Síganos y no se lo van a perder. Van a estar muy entusiasmados con todo lo que tenemos.
Okay.
I understood every word.
Did you get all that?
I got it.
All right, we're gonna now, the toughest part of this interview, Anna, brace yourself. Give us a score. Give us a score for Saturday night. What's your score prediction?
I think it can be 35-6.
So Anna Garza says 35-6. Take this clip, send it right to Rory Derry of Los Angeles.
That's some confidence.
What about you? What's your score? We're gonna put scores on screen here.
Shit.
And we're gonna call you out if you're wrong.
Both teams are gonna kill me. I really want to say Austin's gonna take this. I do. 34-28. I don't even know if that number's possible.
It is. It's a.
I'm sorry, Anna. Love you to death. No need forever, but I do think this is going to be also another close game.
Yeah. Look, Anna Garza says 35-6. You say 34-28.
Yeah, I'm trying to be in the middle here. I'm not trying to get wrecked by the other players.
It'd be nice. As much as I love overtime, I'd like to get out of the arena by midnight. So let's stay away from overtime if possible. I'm going to give you a score that's not an overtime score, okay? I think it's going to be 28-25, and I think Austin is going to win it because I think LA will surprise people. Mariah Lopez has really developed. She is an offensive weapon, but knowing the defensive coordinator for Austin, Cole Berry, who I think is possibly the best assistant coach in the league.
Austin's coaching staff in general.
Yeah, they're deep. They're deep.
They're a full squad. I feel like they could play on the field in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so I think they're going to key in on Mariah Lopez, but I don't think you're going to contain.
Lopez sisters are really good. We know that, but we are ready. So
I like that, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think definitely Austin wins it, no question. But I think it's going to be close, like you said. I don't think it's going to be a 35-6 game.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
But I think it's going to be a lot closer. Well, listen, Anna, I appreciate you taking the time, joining us, sending a little message to our fans down in Mexico. And I'm really, I'm excited to see your growth in the sport and you continuing to get an opportunity to play because – it's really about athletes like yourself that's sacrificing so much, getting on planes and making your way to an entire different country weekly for the opportunity to play this game. That's truly what it's all about. And for us to get to where we want to get as a sport, it's going to have to take that kind of sacrifice from people behind the scenes, coaches, athletes. That's what we have to do. And Anna personifies that. And we're very proud of you here at the XLeague. And wish you absolutely nothing but the best Saturday night.
Thank you, Mitch. We just want to show to the new generations that when you want something, sometimes you have to sacrifice. So we just try to be a good example for everybody.
Excellent, Anna. Well, you certainly are that, and appreciate you being on the show. And hopefully if you guys sneak into the playoffs, which I don't think you're going to be sneaking, you may be the number 1 seed.
I'd be walking right up there.
We'll hope to have you back on. Thanks for joining us, Anna.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
That's Anna Garza, your strong safety for the Austin Sound. Again, I'm really excited to get through these first wave of games, the first 4 or 5 games, because then we're going to have footage on everybody. We're going to know how good everybody is. We found out of the gate we were surprised by what Chicago did. Not so much so about Atlanta because we knew Atlanta was going to be a solid foundation team. So really through the first, I would think 2-3 weeks, we're going to find out maybe the top 4 or 5 teams in this league because now we're seeing it.
A little mid-season rankings now.
Right.
Kind of predict a little bit more.
And I think those are your 4 teams to really watch between weeks 1 and week 2. Obviously, Seattle will beg to differ there because I think that's another very strong team.
For sure.
We don't know what Denver's going to be like. They've made some changes at the quarterback position from what I'm hearing. And certainly Arizona is the unknown, but we'll see. But I think really the cream of the crop is your Atlanta, Chicago, Austin, LA, and Seattle. They're going to be the ones. And one of that 5 teams, and they're all great teams, one of them is going to be on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs. I'm not counting out Arizona. They could surprise people, but I think it's going to be one heck of a competition going down to the wire. And this game is going to have incredible playoff implications when we get later into the season. So that's it, guys. Show 2 is in the books, episode 12. Reminder, guys, that we will continue to put content on the YouTube channel. Please like us, subscribe, follow this channel.
Look at you. You got it that time.
Come on,
that was
dude.
Good.
I'm ready to start my own vlog. All I need now is some kind of a truck, quit my job, and not care about life. I could become a vlogger.
I'm assuming I'm going to get hired for that one,
there
too.
You go. Oh, yeah. Who else am I going to call?
Fan Pass, Fan Pass, Fan Pass.
We'll find a way to put that on Fan Pass for sure. Well, guys, thank you for joining us for SLA episode 12. We will be back next Thursday talking about the Austin-LA matchup and previewing, I believe it's Denver-Seattle. So we'll see you next Thursday, 12 o'clock Eastern, right here exclusively on the XLeague's YouTube channel. See you next week.